Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about some newly shown Marvel Legends, or newly leaked Marvel Legends, actually. We have the Thor Love and Thunder wave, which is very exciting. So, again, these figures have not been officially shown as of filming, but they most likely will be soon. There is a live stream for Marvel Legends set for this upcoming Tuesday, so it's very possible they'll show this wave there. But for the time being, there was a leaked image of somebody with a full assortment, and not only just them in package, but then right afterwards, I think it was the same person posted really in-depth images of them, with taking them out of package too. So we have a really good look at this assortment, which is very exciting. This movie, as I'm sure many of you are very excited for it, but Disney and Marvel is really keeping it very tight to the vest. They haven't released a trailer yet, even though it comes out in just about 3 months, which is very surprising and very unusual. Hopefully we'll get a trailer very soon, and hopefully they're not considering pushing it and delaying the film itself. So fingers crossed that's not the reason that we are not getting official reveals from this movie, even though it's so close before its release. But I'm very excited for this. Of course, I really did enjoy Ragnarok, and I'm a big fan of Taika Waititi, and seeing Thor alongside the Guardians, once more here would be very cool as well, so that's very nice. The assortment itself does consist of 7 figures, 6 of which needed to complete the Build-A-Figure, with 1 figure not needed for the Build-A-Figure itself. The Build-A-Figure, as you can see, is Korg in his new look for this film. There was a poster that was leaked for this new movie that I thought looked real. It really did to me, and I didn't... It seemed like it was something that was legitimate, and then Taika Waititi posted something about the fact, in a joking way, like he usually does, that it wasn't real. However, that's the exact look Korg had in that poster, so I'm pretty sure that was a real, actually leaked poster for the film, because this is exactly what he looks like, with the big ram's horn symbol on his belt there, with the fur on his shoulders, and then the whole pants section. I think he looks very cool, very like 80s Viking. That's the best way to put it. I think that Korg looks very nice. It's hard to tell if anything's reused from the original Korg figure. Of course, there was a Korg figure released a couple of years back now in a 2-pack with the Grandmaster. I think that the face sculpt, to me, it looks pretty similar. Obviously, once we get some better images, we'll know for sure. But I could see them definitely reusing that face sculpt. And then the belt section holding like the fur hide over his shoulders, that might just be something over his chest, so they might be reusing his chest too. The legs, of course, are 100% new, and the arms, they look new as well, unless those leather straps are just something that's put on, but you can even see that there's a bit over his bicep there too, so I doubt it. I think that this Build-A-Figure is the majority of it is new, which is nice. I'm sure it's just a repainted weapon though. But if you missed out on that 2-pack, this is a great Korg. Even if you have the 2-pack though, his look is so substantially different that I think it's completely fine. I have the Korg, and I'm totally fine with him being the Build-A-Figure this wave. Very excited for that one. The assortment itself has 3 versions of Thor, kind of. The first one, bottom right, is the just standard Thor. This is the figure that is not needed to build Korg. This is him in his new kind of armored look. He's going back to a helmet, which I think is kind of interesting. I'd like this figure to include a non-helmeted sculpt as well. You do have alternative options for that, of course, throughout the rest of the wave with the Ravenger Thor. But I wish that the figure, the Thor standard one, came with an extra head sculpt too. He comes with Stormbreaker, as you can see. His coloring, very bright, it looks a little obnoxious in toy form. We'll have to see how it is in the film, but following in the footsteps of Ragnarok, I'm sure it'll be very 80s, very in your face, and it'll probably work just fine in the film itself. But the helmet looks pretty neat, so I'll be very interested to see the on-screen look with that. Then there's the Ravenger Thor. I've got a close-up image on the left there. This is a really cool-looking Thor. This must be, the Guardians version of Thor, basically. This must be... I'm sure we'll get a workout montage in the beginning of the film of him losing the weight from Endgame, and then he'll probably raid, Star-Lord's closet and take some of his stuff, because that's very much like a Ravenger jacket there. And with his name being Ravenger Thor, that's clearly what's happening. So I think that this figure looks really good. Head sculpt-wise, that's a fantastic Thor head sculpt. sculpt. That's probably, and I would almost 100% say, the best Thor head sculpt that we've seen from Marvel Legends. So very excited to get that one. Figure himself looks to be very new. I don't see a whole lot of reuse there. The pants are definitely new. Arms could be reused, but overall I think that there's a lot new, but a very exciting figure. It's just something very different, which is neat. And to get more of a casual Thor is kind of interesting, because, to be honest, in the most recent movies, he spends a lot of time casually, so I think that look is pretty good. And he comes with Stormbreaker again. The one thing I'll say about the Stormbreaker that comes with these two Thors is that the previous kind of sculpt that they have for the Stormbreaker would typically bend. It was a soft rubber, so if he was holding it over a period of time, it would tend to bend over the weight, even though it's not very heavy in general. I'm hoping they fix that. I really would love a harder plastic to be used for the handle, so we'll see. Next up, just going right to left at the bottom, we've got Star-Lord, new version of him. He's got a new kind of snappy coat there, as you can see, with the blue stripe. The head sculpt on him I find a little disappointing. Overall, in this wave, I think the head sculpts are really great across the board, but the weakest one is Star-Lord here. They've never been able to get a great Star-Lord head sculpt, but I think that their last attempt was even a little bit better than this. He's got some new facial hair, though, which the figure represents. Comes with his standard weapons and, of course, a Build-A-Figure piece. Then we have King Valkyrie, as I do like that they, specifically put in there King. This looks like a very nice figure. We do have two other versions of her, so it's nice to see that they're really giving us, every costume for Valkyrie. I hope that she has a larger role in this new film, as now she rules New Asgard. But overall, she looks very good. Head sculpt looks solid, and the design of the costume I actually really like. It's much more toned down than the majority of the costumes in this film, so we'll see how she stands out compared to the rest. And then we'll move up to Mighty Thor. So here's the last version of Thor, but not quite the Chris Hemsworth version. Of course, this is the Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, Lady Thor. But as you can see, they're calling her Mighty Thor for the film's release. Overall, that figure looks very nice. Very excited to get an official image of her, donning this costume in the film. And it's nice to get the actress back, since it's been so long, with her last appearance not being since, well, the last time that she shot footage was for Dark World. However, she is featured a little bit in Endgame, but that, from what I'm aware, is reused footage, that was never actually used in the original film. But anyway, overall, this looks like a very nice figure. She comes with Mjolnir, who I'm not quite sure if this is Thor's Mjolnir, or if this is a new one that's designed for herself. Obviously, Thor had one in Endgame, but it ended up returning it. You never know. He could get it back, though, multiple ways. So I'm not sure what that's all about. That looks like a really large accessory, though. That looks like a larger Mjolnir than Thor even had. So it looks very interesting. I'm wondering if that's a little out of scale accessory-wise, or if just she has a really big hammer in this. But you do get two sculpts with her, one with the helmet, one without, which is great. Next is Groot. This one is probably my most disappointing of the wave. It looks like it's just a reused sculpt, or at least the majority of it's reused. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. Once we get some better images, we will hopefully know for sure. But it looks just like the Teen Groot sculpt. I don't know if Groot will be still just complete teen, or if he will be aged up at all in this film. They might be saving kind of an age jump for, Guardians 3. But I think that that's the same sculpt, if I'm not mistaken. It came in a 2-pack with Thor from Infinity War. So this figure, a little disappointing because I have that one, so it doesn't look like there's much new, except for the accessories. He comes with new accessories, which is very exciting. He comes with a blaster, which looks very cool, and something that he used in, I don't think he used it, I think he used it in Infinity War. He definitely used it in Endgame, though. But the exciting accessories are the kind of the twig pieces. So as you can see right here, he does have kind of a vine attachment that you can replace his arm with. But I also did see an out-of-package image where there's another one down here in the clamshell, too. So he's going to have two, which is very cool. And then lastly, we have Gore. This is an exciting one because I'm a Marvel Villains fan, of course. But this is our first kind of look at the character. We've known, of course, that Christian Bale was going to be playing the main villain, and the villain was Gore, but we hadn't really seen him. There was a very bad shot of him on set that was very hard to tell, you know, other than there was a lot of white. So this is probably the best image of him. I think that the head sculpt looks phenomenal. I really see Christian Bale there, so I think that they captured that nicely. There's a lot of detailing in the face too. It looks like he has some markings on him. He wears kind of robes, no shoes. You can see bare feet there. Overall, that looks like it looks simple on first glance because it's just all one color and a pale color at that, but on further examination, the figure itself actually looks really well detailed. I love the slight tethering on the robe at the bottom section. I think that looks awesome, and his sword actually has some decent detail in it as well, so that one is very exciting. But yeah, overall, this looks like a fantastic wave. I am, I'm a fan of a good comic figure, but if I do have to pick between a comic wave or a movie wave, I tend to choose the movie waves. I like them a little bit more here, so to get an all movie wave is exciting, and to have it be Thor, who's never gotten a full movie wave before, is very exciting as well. So they've really done all the characters that I could have wanted without having seen the film or the trailer or anything. They've checked off the boxes here. Other versions of the Guardians would be cool too, assuming they have costume changes, but I can't imagine that the majority of them probably will not change costume very much at all. But very excited for this wave. This will be a must-have for me, and can't wait to get the pre-order details. And with the fact that we have the in-package images, when things like this happen, typically, and it gets leaked, typically the release for it isn't too far behind. It isn't like the last couple of Marvel Legends waves where once they do finally show them, the release is like a year away. With this will probably come out here, I would say June or so, because the movie's release is in July. So assuming there's no push on the movie's release date, these figures should be out soon, but hopefully we get the official images and pre-order information for them this upcoming Tuesday, but we'll have to wait and see. There you go. That's my thoughts on this new Marvel Legends Thor Love and Thunder wave. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.